Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League. We are here in Brazil, in Sao Paulo at the Interlagos track for race 2 of our Sunday challenge. Fantastic race in race 1 where we saw Toby on a proper charge from the off, made his way to the front to take the win just ahead of Bailey. Some fantastic racing from those guys, and I'm really looking forward to some more in this one. Obviously the problem with Toby winning, he now puts himself on the back of the grid because it is reversed. Race 2 slightly different. There is a required tyre change, so if you start on softs you've got to go to mediums. If you start on mediums you've got to go to softs. The pit window I believe is between lap 7 and at the end of lap 12, so you've got to pit within that period of time. So we'll keep an eye on that for you as we go along. I did just mention in race 1 that I was going to go through the points. Apologies I didn't do it in race 1, but we'll do it now. So currently this is after week 5, so up to and including Spa last week. The results are as follows. We've got Bailey out in front at the minute on 156 points. Toby just behind him on 147, and that win is not going to hurt that at all. So that's going to put them a little bit closer. Neil Farmack on 130. A point behind him in 4th is Derview on 129. And Toten is in 5th on 119. So not a lot of points separating the top 5. So still all to play for. This is round 6 of 10. So just over the halfway point now. So let's get this race started. We'll have a rundown of the grid. It is a rolling start, which is why they're all spread out as they are. And I've already mentioned, and I'm going to do it in reverse grid this time, just for a change. As I've already mentioned, Toby finds himself all the way at the back in 13th. Bailey just ahead of him in 12th. Smith is in 11th. Neil Farmack is 10th. Osmond 9th. Derg is 8th. Toten is 7th. Moz is 6th. Fitzy is 5th, Grasshopper 4th, Paul 3rd, Seamus Cash 2nd, and Sideways George, who is going to be desperately wanting to make up for a disastrous first race, to be fair. So Sideways George out on pole. So let's get the right camera, there we go. And we'll get this race started, shall we? So they head towards the start-finish line. And they are away. So Sideways George takes us down towards the centre S's, or the start of centre S's at turn 1. Seamus Cash already has made a move on him. I'm not sure quite what was happening there. Let's just go back. Oh, now then. Did Sideways go sideways? Not the best of camera shots. Oh, he has. I don't know what. Well, what happened there? I mean, I'm gonna. Let's go. Sort of on a chase cam with Sideways. Well, he's just pulled over, hasn't he? Well, I'm not quite sure what was going on there, but Sideways has just pulled over. Maybe he doesn't want to get involved in it all. But Seamus Cash has taken over the lead. We've got Paul sitting just behind him. Fitzy in 3rd. Grasshopper in 4th. Then we've got Moss coming under pressure from Toten. Toten coming under pressure from Derg. As we follow everybody through. Grasshopper and Toten fighting it out for 4th. Then we've got Moz, as I say, just sitting behind him. Moz all over the back of Toten. It's always going to be tight these first few turns. Toby already up into 10th. With Smith and Bailey in... No, Toby through to 9th, sorry. Smith... Down, oh, it's all changing so quickly. Osmond now 9th. Smith 10th. Bailey 11th. Then Sideways... And then Moss, whoa, what's happened to Moss? Oh, he's come off. So Moss was in 6th. he's just gone on the bar. I think it's just a bit of oversteer, a bit of power, and Mars has a kiss for barrier and drops him down to 13th. So let's just go back up to the race leader at the minute, which is Paul. Around turn 12, junk out, on to 13 and 14, and then on to the start finish straight to finish lap 1 and start lap 2. So Paul is our current race leader. Excuse me. We've got Seamus Cash in second. He'll want to get some decent points on the board after race 1. Grasshopper having a bit of a look at the inside there, having a fight with Fitzy. Grasshopper excuse me, Grasshopper in third, Fitzy in fourth. Let's go on board with Fitzy. We've got Toten behind, Grasshopper in front. Going down the gears to try and get this turn done. Grasshopper having a look at the inside of Seamus Cash and gets his nose in front, so great move from Grasshopper. Now then, can Fitzy do the same? Oh, Seamus, oh no! I thought Fitzy was going to go through the middle of the two of them there. Seamus Cash has dropped a couple of places. There was a bit of bumping and shoving going on, elbows out. But Grasshopper goes through to second, Fitzy's third, Seamus Cash now in fourth. He's all in the mirrors of Fitzy. All the while these scraps are taking place, Paul is able to get away. We'll have a rundown of the tyres very shortly as Fitzy tries to get in the slipstream of Grasshopper. Try to put a bit of pressure on him as they approach turn 1. Grasshopper not defending, doesn't feel he has to. Hard on the brakes, down the gears, into the centre S's, turns 1, 2 and then 3. Through Curva de Sol, or Curva de Sol, sorry. Onto the Retta Aposta straight, down towards turn 4. Is Fitzy going to have a look? No, he's not, he's just sitting there. Seamus Cash all over the back of Fitzy though. Let's just go down and see what's happening elsewhere. Toten's sitting in 5th, Neil Farmack and Bailey having a fight for 6th position. It looks like Bailey's got himself in front, although Neil is on the inside. Now it'll be Bailey's turn to be on the inside as we go through turns 9 into 10. Toby's in there as well. Toby trying to get his nose in. Neil Farmack being mugged a little bit now as Bailey gets it done. He's into 5th. Neil Farmack 6th. Toby still chipping away there, isn't he? And Toby gets his nose in front of Neil, although Neil's still not giving this one up. Through turn 12. Bailey's got himself away. Toby into 6th. He gets it done. Neil Farmack in 7th. He's got Dirk now to contend with. Neil is definitely in the slipstream of Toby, although Dirk is in the slipstream of Neil. So these Neil and Dirk get a double slip really. Go back up. Toby makes the move on Bailey and gets it done there. Oh, Bailey's fighting back. Oh, the two of them have a bit of a bumping session. Bailey goes off to the left. Come on, cameraman, keep up. Bailey still, oh, Bailey's picked up a penalty. Now then, let's go. I'm just going to go back and we're going to have a look at this. We'll go on chase cam. So Toby makes a move up the inside, struggles to get the car to slow down. Bailey comes back on him. The two of them have a coming together and Bailey gets pushed very wide and picks up a second penalty for his troubles. Well, I'm not sure what to make of that one. I think that was probably just a racing incident really, but maybe that's one for the stewards to look at. That's not for me to call. But as it stands, Bailey's in 5th, Toby is in 6th and Neil Farmack 7th, although that will all change when Bailey has to serve that 1 second penalty. Dirk in 8th, Sideways George now recovered from whatever it was. his blackout or whatever it was he had the issue with at the very start of the race. He's in 9th and he's challenging Derg now for that 8th position. So good to see him up and racing again. Seamus Cash in 10th. Bit of a gap then back to Smith in 11th. Not really got into this race as Smith. Osman and Moz down in 13th. So back up to our race leader. Excuse me. Who was trying to disappear off into the distance is Paul. Paul on the soft tyres. Then we've got Grasshopper also on the soft tyres. Fitzy's on the medium, so Fitzy having a great race on the medium tyres. Same with Toten. So 2 out of the top 4 on the mediums, the other 2 obviously on the softs. So 3 and 4 on the medium tyres. A little bit of a gap then back to Toby. Toby on the mediums also. Neil Farmack on the mediums. He's made his way up into 6. So Bailey's dropped 1. Bailey on the mediums. Quite a lot of people choosing to get the medium tyres out of the way very early on. Oh, of course Bailey's dropped, hasn't he? Because he served his penalty. That's why Toby and Neil were able to go through. So Bailey now down in 7th. And has got a bit of work ahead of him. Derg in 8th, also on the mediums. Sideways on the softs. So Sideways really needs to get past Derg as quickly as he can. You can probably take the soft tyres to maybe the end of lap 12, maybe 13, I'm not sure. I think the pit window is lap 7 to the end of lap 12. I can't remember properly, but I think the soft tyres will last to lap 12. So we're on lap 5 now, so another 7 for Sideways if he wants to get by Derg and try and get away from him. Seamus Cash also on the soft tyres. Smith down at 11th on the mediums. I'm sure he'll be glad to get rid of them as soon as he possibly can. So it could be the guys on medium tyres will all come in around about lap 7. And the guys on the soft tyres will stay out as long as they can. We shall see. We're on lap 6. Osman on the mediums and then Moz also on the medium. So bit of a mixed bag out there. Somebody who's really not bothered about what tyres anybody else is using is Paul out in front, trying to open up a bit of a lead because he does want to, he will need to change onto the mediums, and the guys on the mediums seem to be having a bit of a struggle. So Paul will need to get as far away as he can from them, as will Grasshopper. Grasshopper struggling to catch up with Paul at the minute. Fitzy in 3rd, he's got Toten all over the back of him. Fitzy obviously will have one eye on Grasshopper in front, but he'll definitely have the other eye on Toten. You can hear the tyres squealing as we go through turn 12, through 13, 14 and then on to 15 and the home straight, the start finish straight. Let's just stay with Toten. He's definitely in the slipstream of Fitzy. Is he going to be making a move? Toten pulls to the inside. He's going to have a look. What a camera. Come on. Oh, going to have a word with the director. These cameramen are bloody rubbish. As Toten gets himself through and up into 3rd. Made the move on Fitzy's stick. So it's Fitzy's turn now to get right at the chuff of Toten. Getting that slipstream. Use himself as a bit of a slingshot. Oh, Toten getting a bit wide. You don't want to get your wheels on that AstroTurf. It really is not very friendly out there. So Fitzy and Toten having a proper fight. I really don't want to leave these guys, but we're going to have to go down the field and see what's happening elsewhere. Toby in 5th. He's made his way right away from the back up to 5th on the medium tyres as well. So he's having a fantastic outing here at Sao Paulo. Same with Bailey in 6th position at the minute on the medium tyres. You can see not a lot of wear on those. and we are on lap 7, so we may start to see some of the guys with the medium tyres coming in. Let's just keep an eye on the board on the left. You'll see a little tyre symbol pop up as the guys dive into the pits. Change of tyres, splash of fuel, unless anyone's been fuel saving. Oh, Bailey I think faked a pit entry there. So as you can see, Toten's in, Fitz is in, Toby is in. The guys at the top 4 have stayed out, Sideways has stayed out. He's on the softs, Seamus Cash on the soft, so I would imagine it's the guys on the softs that have stayed out. Let's have a look. So Paul's still out there, Grasshopper on the softs, yeah. No, Bailey on the mediums. He's decided he's going to do some more laps on the medium tyres, so he's moved up to 3rd. Maybe he just wanted to get away from Toby a bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, Toby's into the pit, so maybe Bailey's thinking he needs to get some distance between himself and Toby. So Bailey on the mediums, Neil Farmack also on the knees. Oh, Neil went very wide. Now, has he picked up a penalty? It doesn't look like he has, so he may have got away with that one. So Bailey and Neil Farmack, 3rd and 4th. Are they going to come in this time around? We shall see as they exit turn 10 into 11. This sort of downhill sweeping left-hander into junk out around 13 and 14, and the pit entry is just on the left. So let's have a look and see if Bailey and Neil pull in. Yes, it looks like they've both gone in. So Bailey and Neil both in to get onto the soft tyres. Up to our race leader Paul, still out. Like I said earlier, probably go to about lap 12. Will Paul, you can see he's still okay for tyres. The front right is taking the punishment at the minute. Same with Grasshopper. So these two opened up quite a gap, although that will change when they enter the pit lane. Sideways up into 3rd, also on the soft tyres, so it's going to make them go as far as you can. Oh, very wide again for George at turn 4. And he's picked up a penalty for it as well, a half-second penalty. I don't think that will affect his track position too much. There is a bit of a gap back to Seamus. Toten now out on a fresh set of softs in 5th position, knowing that Paul and Grasshopper have still got to pit. Same as Sideways, I believe, yeah. And Seamus, so the guys in front of him have all got a pit. So Toten just needs to get as close as he can, and he's going to move on. Fitz is also pitted, he's out on the softs now. Same with Toby, currently in 7th. Then we've got Neil Farmack and Bailey. So all these guys now out on the soft tyres with enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. Dirk in 10th, he's also made his stop and is on the soft tyres. Likewise for Smith, Osman and Moz. So everybody pitted now apart from the guys that started on the softs, and they're the top 3. Oh, you can see Sideways is in. So Sideways is in, and that's dropped him all the way down to 10th already, and he may even come out behind Smith or even Osman. So let's just go back up. We're on lap 10. Let's see if Paul stays out. I think he will. His tyres are okay at the minute. He's okay for fuel. He's got just over half a tank. So, oh, just getting back on track before hitting that grass. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the tyre wear is starting to affect the performance of that car, the handling performance at least. Now let's have a look to see whether Paul stays out. Is he coming in? No, he's staying out. I thought he would. Same with Grasshopper. Probably going to take it to lap 12. Same as Cash. Currently sitting in third. Just looking at the lap times. Osman at the minute with the fastest lap of 1:31.4. So he's definitely lapping quicker than the guys currently out in front. Toten at 1:31.6, so his lap times are now starting to fall. Toten in fourth. Knows the guys in front have all got to make their pit stop, and we're on lap 11. Toby in fifth, trying to chase Toten down. Then we've got Fitzy. Fitzy having a good race this time out, sitting in sixth. Bailey behind him in seventh. Bailey with a purple sector, well, more pink, isn't it? Neil Formack in eighth, coming under pressure from Derg. Derg having a look at the inside, although he's going to be on the outside now as they go through turn 8. So Neil Formack got some defending to do against Derg. As we see our race leaders into the pit, so Paul is in. Grasshopper has stayed out. So Grasshopper has stayed out for another lap and has taken the lead. Paul now into the pit. You can see those guys, what a fantastic job. None of them look very busy, do they? Look, he looks bored. Let's just see how quick we can get this tyre change done. I don't think he took any fuel on, did he? He's got enough, he's got half a tank, so Paul obviously been fuel saving. But the problem Paul's now got is on the medium tyre. So he's going to come out in third. But he is on the medium tyre, and we can just see Toten in the distance in fourth still. I thought Toten might have got a bit closer than that. So up to our race leader, Grasshopper. He is going to have to come in this lap. Same as Seamus Cash, he's going to have to come in. So currently as we sit, let's just have a look. Where's Seamus? There's Paul. So Paul should be able to retake the lead. And if he does, he's played a blinder on this race as Paul. Although he has got Toten chasing him down, and Toten on the soft tyres now. So this is going to be a great finish. We're on lap 12. As I say, the guys in front are going to have to pit. Well, I say that, they probably won't. Maybe I've got the pit thing wrong. We're on lap 13, so maybe it's lap 13 you've got to pit then. Hey, I told you I didn't know exactly, did I? So anyway, Paul now coming under a lot of pressure from Toten. I'm going to go on board with Toten as we're trying to chase Paul down. Remember, Toten is on the soft tyres, Paul on the mediums. Is Toten going to have a look before they approach turn 4? And he does, and gets it done. Not much Paul could do about that. Toten's got the better grip on the newer, softer tyres, so I think Paul just conceded that corner to Toten. No point fighting it, causing an accident. That was good racing really from Paul. He knew that Toten was on the better tyres, so sort of gave the place up and carries on fighting. Well, what's happened to Seamus Cash? And don't tell me he's run out of fuel. No, he hasn't. Oh, I thought he'd run out of fuel because he was going so slowly, but he's in second position. He's just had a bit of a spill. As we go around turn 10, through 11, this left-hander, and he's just got understeer and he's got himself on the grass. That is so unlucky for Seamus. Just making sure there's room for him to re-enter. Oh, and that's dropped him all the way back down now. Toby will more than likely go by. He has. Toby's gone through to 4th, so Seamus now down in 5th, and he's got to make a stop as well. That may be the tyres that have caused that lack of grip. You can see on the top left there, Grasshopper is in the pit. Seamus really having to fight that car. He's going to have to come in now, get them tyres off, but he's going to have to go into the mediums as well, and that's put him right in the thick of the traffic, so he's going to lose a lot of spots. So let's just have a look. So Toten is now our new race leader, out on the soft tyres as well. Paul in 2nd. Everybody going through as Grasshopper's gone into the pits. Toby in 3rd. Now Grasshopper coming back out. Is he going to come out? He's come out in 4th. So Grasshopper out in 4th, but on medium tyres. We've got Bailey on the softs. We've got Fitzy on the softs. So Bailey and Fitzy having a bit of a fight there for 5th position at the minute. We're on lap 14 of 20. Fitzy really getting in the mirrors of Bailey. Let's go on board with Fitzy as we take this series of tricky turns through turn 8, then into 9, onto the power, and then immediately back onto the brakes for turn 10. Bailey now right up the backside of Grasshopper, putting him under a lot of pressure. It looks like Bailey's having a look at the inside of Grasshopper as they enter turn 12, and he gets it done. I don't think Grasshopper really put up much of a fight there, and he's not going to stop Fitzy either. So Grasshopper now down to 6. I think Grasshopper's gone onto the medium tyres, hasn't he? These two guys on the softs. So Grasshopper will be happy to just sit in the slipstream of Fitzy as Fitzy tries to catch up to the back of Bailey into turn 1 and the start of the centre S's. This is where the soft tyre is going to help. Grasshopper staying with Fitzy though. Fitzy can't quite get close enough to Bailey. Not really putting the pressure on him yet. So Grasshopper, as I say, down in 6 with the medium tyres. Neil Formack closing rapidly. He is on the softs. So Grasshopper in danger of losing another spot. So maybe the guys that started on the mediums, it was the right tactics for them. Derg in 8th. Smith in 9th. Not really been his race, has it, this second one? Struggled to really get through the pack like he would want. We've still got five laps to go, so we're not writing anybody off just yet. Osman in 10th. Then we've got quite a gap then back to Moz in 11th, then sideways, then Seamus. Pit stop really didn't help, but then again, I suppose he had that moment, didn't he, where he ended up on the grass, went from 2nd to about 5th, got right in the middle of the traffic, and then had to make that pit stop as well. So that's what's put him down the order. So back up to our race leader is Toten. Does look like he's opening up a bit of a gap back to Toby. Let's just have a look at the lap times. So Toby is fastest lap at the minute, Toby, a 1:31.0, but Toten not that far off. His last lap was a 1:31. In fact, he's had a constant 1:31 for the last 7 or 8 laps. So Toten not messing about either. So Toby and Toten roughly about the same pace. Bailey in third, also doing 131s now. So the top three all around the same pace. Paul in fourth, struggling to keep the guys in the soft tyres away from him. Still having a great race is Paul though. I don't think he's going to be able to hold Fitzy off for long. Let's go on board with Paul, shall we? As we enter turn one, start of the centre S's. Let's have a look. Fitzy having a bit of a look. Has to back off. Now Fitzy's going to get right up the smelly end of Paul, and is he going to have a look at the inside? I don't think Paul's going to defend this one. He's not. Paul stays to the outside. Fitzy goes to the inside. And there we go. So Fitzy takes that fourth position away from Paul. Neil Farmer could be looking to do pretty much the same thing as well, which will drop Paul down to 6. But Neil on the soft tyres as well, 2 teammates, and I think Paul has said to him, go on Neil, you go, you're on the better tyre, get yourself after Fitzy. Which he does. So Paul now down into 6. It really does come down to tyre choice. I think, like I said, the guys who started on the medium seem to be finishing better. Dirk in 7th. Then we've got Grasshopper, Smith. Now Grasshopper on the mediums, Smith and Osman both on the softs. We're just coming across the line to start lap 18, so 3 laps to go, including this one. Can Smith get past Grasshopper? Can Osman get past Smith? Through the centre S's, onto Rita Poster Straight. Try and get in the slipstream if you can. Osman desperately trying to do that to Smith. These two really will have their eye on the 8th spot that's currently being held by Grasshopper. We'll just stick with these for a second as we go through this really tricky section of the track. And this is probably where the softer tyres will come into their own, which will allow these Osman and Smith to catch up to the back of Grasshopper, and then if they can get in the slipstream on the start finish straight. So let's go on board with Grasshopper, shall we, as we go through turn 12. And if you look in your mirror, that's what you see. We've got Smith and Osman. Now Smith definitely in the slipstream. Now is Grasshopper going to go defensive and stay to the left? He is. That has forced Smith around the outside, and Smith gets it done, or does he? Grasshopper trying to slow the car down so he doesn't run into the back of Smith, but a great move from Smith all the way around the outside at turn 1 and gets it done. And Grasshopper tried to defend it, but there's not a great deal he could do about it. Now he's got to concentrate on trying to defend against Osman. And it's Osman's turn to put the pressure on. Lap 19. So about a lap and a half to go. Can Grasshopper hold on to that 9th position? You can see Dirk putting the pressure onto Paul up ahead. Dirk trying to take that 6th position away. Oh, and it looks like Osman's gone up the inside. Where is he? There he is. Grasshopper goes for the cutback, although Osman is on the inside now. Through turn 11. Oh, and Grasshopper's fighting back again into turn 12. Takes the inside line. Side by side through turn 12. Let's just come out and have a look at that again. Great racing between these two. A bit of a kiss there, but nothing too serious. Osman and Grasshopper 9th and 10th side by side. On to the start finish straight. Osman just gets his nose in front, then it's Grasshopper, then it's back to Osman. Grasshopper on the inside. Osman gonna have to go the long way round if he wants it, and he does, just gets it done. It's a fantastic racing between those two guys as we start the final lap. And up ahead, let's have a look what's happening here. Smith trying to take the spot away from Paul. Oh, bit of a bumper kiss. I think that sort of unsettled Paul, but he's regained his composure and back going again. Derview go through to take 6. Paul battling it out with Smith for 7, but it looks like Smith's going to get it. Smith with the softer tyres, that's dropped Paul down to 8th. And he's now got Osman all over the back of him as well. I've got to go back up to our race leader as Toten takes turn 12 for the final time. A fantastic race from Toten. Got his tactics spot on. A comfortable win then in the end for Toten. Well done to him. Toby coming in second, he'll be pleased with that. Starting at the back, Bailey's third, another good result for Bailey. Then we've got Fitzy in 4th, he did manage to get through. It's a race to the line for 5th, Dergu gets 5th, then Neil Farmack. Smith is 7th, Paul 8th, Osman 9th, Grasshopper 10th, all very close at the end there. Moz is going to cross the line in 11th, then we've got Sideways George and Seamus Cash coming in 12th and 13th. Remember guys, if you do like what you saw, hit that like button. If you've not already subscribed, please do so and share these races. Let's promote the channel. Thank you for watching. We shall see you next outing at Bathurst in Australia. Catch you all very soon.